good evening. Yeah, let this room fill up. Share this content. Subscribe to the page. Share this content. Bring in your followers. Yeah, it is what it is at this point. This is not Victory Tuesday, right? Yeah, appreciate those who follow the page. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Share the content. We did like I want to say like a 6-hour stream yesterday or last night. And we were talking about the pitfalls of the Dallas Cowboys. We talked about the nuances that they need to improve on. We talked a little bit about the coaching staff. And I say, Cowboys Nation, when will we ever learn? And I put in parentheses, when will I ever learn? That the only way this thing can just change, right? The only way that this thing can just turn things over in the right direction is from the staff, and we understand that we're seeing the exact same issues that we had, the exact same reservation that we had 5 years ago. Maybe you can say a year ago. Maybe we can say 9 years ago, 10 years ago. 12 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. We are seeing the exact same thing over and over. And we talking about the quarterback of the situation. We talked about the coaching staff. We talk about players just not being able to execute. I don't want to hear that word never again. But we failed to just bring in the major point. And I hate to do this because I bleed silver and blue. And we love the star, right? Collectively, we do. And I appreciate those who just tuning in to the show. We collectively love that star. And I hope you guys got your morning coffee up. Get on up in the morning. I'm gonna sip on this coffee right quick while you guys tune in. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the content. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup, right? But this is the thing. Cowboys Nation, as you guys begin to share this thing early in the morning, this is the thing. The fish rots from their head down, right? And we talked about Jason Garrett. We talked about Scott Linehan and their issues and things of that nature. But Jerry Jones, the only way that this team can change things over is because they need to figure out a way. Jerry Jones got to open up his wallet. And I'm not talking about players at this point. We can talk about salary cap and we can talk about player execution, but this is the thing. There's one category that there's no salary cap on it at all, and that's the owner of this team being able to get the coaching staff together. There's no salary cap. If you really want to win, if you really want to figure out ways to put things in right perspective, go out there and get a coach. We've been saying that for years. Go out and get a prominent coach, not a coach in training, not a coach that you're trying to develop, not your best friend, cousin, uncle, not somebody that's the cronyism, the nepotism, not none of that. There's nothing that you can do outside of salary cap, which I understand that. But coaching is something that you can reach into your own wallet and go out there and get the best coaching that's available. I mean, right now, there's nothing against going out to get a Bill Belichick. And there's no salary cap at all involved in talking about coaching. You can go out there, Jerry Jones. You got this $2.5 billion stadium that you can go out there. And, of course, the franchise itself is over $5 billion with a B. You can go out there and get a new coach. And this is not me making excuses the way the Cowboys play, but what is the known constant of this particular team? Coaching. It's been the same thing over and over and over again. And the only way, Cowboys Nation, we can hurt Jerry Jones, and I'm not saying that we need to hurt Jerry Jones, is what's behind me right now. If we leave the stadium like that behind me, then things can change, because that's the only way that Jerry Jones can get the bigger picture. Meaning that if you have nobody in those stands, if you have nobody going to the games, if we stop buying the Cowboys apparel, stop buying Cowboys content and stuff like that, then maybe Jerry Jones can say to himself and say, you know what? It's time for a change. So when will we ever learn? That's why I have when would I ever learn too, that there's nothing going to change about this staff. I can think all of the high praises what this team can do and should do, but they're not going to do it. Then why? What can we do to change this thing all around? And we have to send a message to Jerry Jones that his franchise, we are crying out. We are saying to ourselves, we got the product out there. We got the explosive. We went out and made the explosive deal. Now we don't have a first round draft pick, which is cool. I understand that, because as the grade of Amari Cooper equals a first round draft pick. Because if you was going to draft a wide receiver anyway in the first round, you would rather. I can see that. I can see that angle. You would rather have Amari Cooper, a proven product already. Because Amari Cooper last night didn't lose us the game. One can argue the fact that, hey, we got a developing quarterback that's holding on to the ball too long, trying to squeeze and throwing the ball off his back foot. And then on top of that, he's trying to run the ball and fumble the ball, and he caused 2 turnovers that was crucial to this team winning the game. And one can argue the fact that it was the exact same thing against the Redskins a couple of weeks ago. But we want to go to the World Series game. It had nothing to do with anything, right? So it is what it is at this point. The optics of everything looks kind of crazy on our coaching staff. The philosophy, the overall grand picture of things. So what we need to do, Cowboys Nation, is we need to hit Jerry Jones where it hurt, wherever it may be. Trust me, I love Jerry Jones. Matter of fact, I'm going to call him Jason Jones at this point. It's like a nightmare mixed in with a bottle of emotions. I only had like 2 or 3 hours worth of sleep last night. I hope you guys had a wonderful sleep last night, because I know we got to go and play a better team next week. And then beyond that, we got to play the Saints, who going out and actually bringing Dez Bryant into the house. And it can be remember, this thing is all about chess, not checkers. If I'm the opposition, I'm bringing in Dez Bryant too. And I'm saying I'm trying to get every angle, every possible aspect of my team trying to prepare against the opposition. I'll bring in somebody. There's a saying, I'd rather have a man inside the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in. So you bring in those people. You bring in those people to help you out in tremendous ways and fashions. I hope you guys got your coffee, right? Get on up in the morning, man. So as it is what it is, guys, I can only be mad for a couple of hours. And then we can look at this tape, review everything that we can from A to Z, pull out the positive of the tape and say, okay, where can we go from here? But this is the thing. When you have a coaching staff that don't play to the strength of your quarterback and don't understand that you got Ezekiel Elliott as well, and he only had 6 touches after halftime. So they did the reverse of halftime adjustment. They said, okay, what's working for us? Let's stop doing that. Let's figure out something else to see if we can find those things that work. No, you don't do that collectively as a coaching staff. You get up and you say, okay, this is what worked for me in the first quarter. This quarterback needs to do this more, or this is what worked for the quarterback when he played for Mississippi State. Remember this, Cowboys Nation. Mississippi State was not even on the map when Dak Prescott played for said team. But what they did was when they put Dak Prescott under the Mullen system, he was able to elevate that particular organization. What did they do? Was Dak Prescott a passing quarterback? No. He was not a passing quarterback. So why try to create something that's not there for the Cowboys? Why, Cowboys Nation, we try to create Dak Prescott being a passing quarterback? He is a read option quarterback. I want to know how many times that the Cowboy Nation, how many times, I want to know this. How many times we did at RPO last night? Are we really trying to win? Are we playing to the strong suit of said quarterback? Dak Prescott? When will we ever learn? When will we ever learn? Wake up, Cowboys Nation. We got to wake up. I know some of you guys saying stay woke. Yeah, I know you guys are staying woke out there. But when will we ever learn? You got to play to the strength of your quarterback. You got to play to the strength of your running back. You got to figure out by now you should have some bread and butter plays. You cannot go in I formation and say, okay, I'm only going to run out of this situation. You sprinkle in some play action. I said it when I was calling the game live. When in I formation, off I formation, don't just give us the run out of that. Pass out of it, play action out of it, bootleg out of it, waggles, do something out of that. Call Tupac, call Biggie, ask them for help. Get on the phone, Jerry Jones. Call Jimmy Johnson and say, hey, I understand that we had some disagreements. I understand that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of situations. But what can this team do now to improve themselves? We got to figure out a way, Cowboys Nation. I'm going to give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the chat box. Appreciate you for tuning in, especially on the Periscopes and the Twitch. I know it's early in the morning. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. Eric K, appreciate you. Shout out to you. Dante, Terry, Dallas, Marcel, Shabazz, thank you for tuning in to the nation. We got a lot of people over here. I will try to read each and every last one of you guys' comments. I know it's still early in the morning, but hey, Sean, the sun did rise today, right? Shout out to you, Marcelo B, man, that's on the YouTube page. Esteban, the first person that's in the chat box. Josh Skinner, the winner of Buttered Toast. That sounds good this morning. With a little jelly and a jam. That's your name, Butter Toast. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Third place. You got to step it up, though. I know you're part of the notification squad. Got to step it up. Appreciate everybody early this morning. We need some changing. I demand some changing. I want everybody, and I'm not an advocate of somebody losing their job, but damn it, if you're not playing up to par, if you're not coaching up to par, then there's things called responsibilities. And when you're not being held to certain situations, I guess, accountabilities with your responsibilities, then it's time for you to make some changes, Jerry Jones. We need to make these changes regardless of the situation. I understand that we saying, okay, well, this happened and that happened. The catch, no catch happened in 2014. The running into the huddle with too many players in 2016. There's always a built-in excuses. But they just like navels. We all have one. But, there's a reason why, situations happen to a certain person all the time because you're not prepared. The prepared mind says, okay, even though I didn't have an umbrella and it started to rain, I knew for sure that I looked at the forecast. I at least have a backup plan in mind. I have an extra umbrella in the trunk of my car. Or I do know that this particular region rains more often than not. So I have a prepared situation when those things come about. What are the Cowboys prepared for? What are we doing to prepare ourselves for this pitfalls that we see in? We saw this coming a mile away. Alan Crump, appreciate you for thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making the donation to help grow this nation. Really appreciate every donation. Is very, very, very well received here. Alan Crump says Dak has the confidence problem. He doesn't trust himself, meaning he reads, he's indecisive basically from here. This is the thing. Trust. The best thing about trust. And you guys can write this down. And I know you guys heard about this. Trust, it takes 1,000 years to build trust or confidence and 1 second to lose it. The ladies know what I'm talking about, right? You guys can trust your partner until he cheats on you. And then you will never trust him again. 1,000 years to build trust. 1,000 years and 1 second to lose it. And Dak Prescott just don't trust what he sees with his eyes. He don't trust his mechanics. Although we was out of the game, it was I guess one of those it was a 3-step drop. 1, 2, 3, the ball got to come out. You got to trust that. Regardless of the situation, it was a 3-step drop at the latter part of the game. Rico is doing jumping jacks in the end zone. Like, hey, he's actually literally doing YMCA. Let's give it up for the YMCA. He was wide open in the end zone. And Dak Prescott, he saw it. He glanced at it. He said, you know what? I do not trust dropping back and releasing this ball out after my 3-step drop. So he held the ball. And then he did the spin. And when he spun out of it, the defensive player crowd in there. And Rico, 6'7", 200 and some odd pounds. I want to say 267, some odd pounds. moved over, and he was still jumping, doing the jumping jacks. YMCA, I'm wide open. And he just pulled the ball back. And the opposition came up on him, and forced him to throw his ball way into the end zone, out of bounds. That comes from trust. If you don't trust what you see, if you gun shy at this point, can this thing be coached out? Yes, we saw that. We know it's possible. I remind myself of watching older tapes of Ronnie Cunningham. He played for the Filthy. Then when he went to the Minnesota Vikings, they put some weapons around him. And remember, they had Dante Culpepper. But at the time, I think Culpepper snapped up something. They brought in the old vet. And he was looking like he was able to walk on water. I'm talking about Ronnie Cunningham. He began to go through his progression faster. He knew that he had an arm good enough to throw the ball and just launch it out to Chris Carter, launch it out to Randy Moss. I think they went 15-1 that year. What changed? What changed in his mental makeup? His ability to see the field better. It took him years to get that ball out quick. But things sometimes can change. Now, what I'm saying is with this coaching staff, collectively, and I'm talking about collectively, we still support this team. We still have love and strong adulations towards this team. But this is the problem. If the coaching staff continue to run out those same boring plays, nothing out of the stretch of our imagination is saying that, okay, that play was very nice. It was nice. It was a wonderful play. No, they don't give us that. The only way that this staff can change everything around is they got to go. And I hate to say that. They can work with Dak Prescott and play to his strong suits. But when we talked about trust, as my guy said over here in the chat box, who made the donation to help grow the nation, Alan Crump, he said that it's a confidence issue. It's a problem with this Cowboys organization. It's a problem with Cowboys coaching Dak Prescott. If we don't change those small things, then we are far, far from winning anything. This is from Tony Diaz. He said Dak Prescott got to go. Hey, it is what it is. Thomas Heat. Dak can't even throw the ball 5 yards. And this is from John S. When will we ever learn that the same issues, we can take this stream and we can go back into the past 5 and 6 and 7 years ago, and we have the exact same conversation. We have the exact same, pretty much collective same thoughts about this coaching staff, about the play of the team, because we can only look at 2007. Maybe you can do a reach for 2006, but that team, Bill Parcells had this team rocking and rolling with the defense. And then it was like a real love affair because he put in a new quarterback, number 9. That was one of his first years out there, starting and what have you. Took over Drew Bledsoe, who we saw who had the same problems of holding on to the ball like Dak Prescott. Didn't trust what he see or saw. And this is the thing. Out of all those years, it's horrible for us to go back and say, hey, in 2007, we had a good year. And then in 2014, look at the years. Look at the gapage. That's 7 years from 2007 to 2014. And then we talk about 2016, right? That's not good, guys. That is not something that you want to bring up in your resume and it is your love affair for the current quarterback and of the past quarterback. It's not something that we want to bring home to. We got to have a level of consistency. But when we learn that the fish rots from their head down, and we got to figure out ways to improve that part of it. Guys, it is what it is. This pretty much all the time I have for today. I really thank you all for tuning in to the nation. I understand that you guys are frustrated. Shout out to you, OG Trey F. Kennedy. Appreciate you for tuning in to the nation. And Kerry Teagle, Jamal Anderson, Graham, and Fred Parker, and Tony, who's this? What's your last name? Tony Ponce. Thank everybody for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the content, sub it up, subscribe. DC for Life, that is one of the coldest, I'm talking about on the Facebook fan page. Hashtag DC for Life, Cowboys. You guys, go follow DC for Life. Join that Facebook group. It's over 130,000 strong up in there. And we're going to be going back and forth and post your thoughts of the game, Also, don't forget to hit the sponsors up. The Dallas Cowboys, Cowboys Experience. Hit them up early in the morning to check out a lot of things. I will have the link in the description box. And me and DDP, as well as Big Game James. Shout out to Voch Lombardi, Mark Holmes, Shango Live. You guys know who they are. Koye, we call him a Koye. Check out all our pages, man, and support the nation. Foots the King. If I left out anybody who does YouTube and Facebook talk, let me know. I guess Dallas Cowboys Scouting. Everybody, man, we gotta join together. We got to dive into some college tape. We got to see what we can do to going into this next year's draft. And then on top of that, it's Philly. Who we play next, guys? Put that down in the chat box too. Who we play next? I think we play Filthy, right? So my brother, who's a diehard Filthy fan, I may have to bring him on and we can talk about those things. But this team got to change things around. That's all the time I have for this beautiful morning. Although it's not a Victory Tuesday, keep your head high. Even if we down, just to continue to fight. And hopefully, when will we learn about this team? We have to hit Jerry Jones where it hurts. When he goes live, when we see him live and say, hey, change out the coaching staff. I got Lincoln Riley. I got a Harbaugh, one of the Harbaugh brothers. Anybody that can just change this thing around, and hopefully we can figure out new and better ways to get this team going in the right direction. That's all the time I have tonight or today in the morning. My mind is everywhere. I got to finish drinking this coffee. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. I said tonight. Boy, I'm off. Salute. Let's jam on out of this thing, baby. Yeah. I'm mad, but it is what it is, right? Speechless, yeah. We're going to have to turn this thing around one way or another, baby. Yeah. Still love you guys, man. I still love you. Representing silver and blue all day, even twice on Sunday, right? I hate losing, man. Never get used to losing. Never be satisfied with losing, baby. We got to turn this thing around. Hey, we can still beat the Philly. Right? Yeah. Peace. Salute. We can be filthy. We can beat them.